Hey there, this is Jaxie with the Systems Alliance, and in this video we're going to go over a recent letter from Netflix to its shareholders saying that they're not scared of HBO, they're not scared of the new Disney Plus streaming service, they're not scared of Amazon Prime. What they are scared of is YouTube and Fortnite. So while everyone is saying, okay, who's going to be the next Netflix or who's going to be the next to compete with Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon Prime, you got HBO, all these companies, trying to compete with that same streaming service, but it's not streaming services that Netflix is worried about apparently. So they already Netflix estimates that they have 10% of the viewership of TV already. So out of all the hours on TV that are watched, Netflix is already estimating 10% of that is with them alone. That's huge. And we're seeing it too, of course. Bird Box, 80 million views in just a few weeks. That's insane numbers. But it was Google's YouTube and Epic Games' Fortnite that got the shout out as far as things that they're worried about in their letter. Check this out. Our focus is not on Disney Plus, Amazon, or others, but on how we can improve our experience for others, Netflix said in a shareholder letter. We compete with and lose to Fortnite more than HBO. When YouTube went down globally for a few minutes in October, our viewership and signups spiked for that time. CEO Reed Hastings said in the company's earnings interview that he likes Disney and is excited for the Disney Plus launch. Ultimately, he said it's about winning time, not content. We compete so broadly with all of these providers that any one provider entering only makes a difference on the margin, Hastings said. So first of all, to me, that's crazy. When YouTube went down just for a few minutes, Netflix spiked, and I'm sure many others did too. But just think about that. How much YouTube is really dominating. Now, obviously, Google is trying to prove this, and they already know it. They already know they have the views on YouTube. But it's a matter of proving it to advertisers to make them realize the same thing. Right now, YouTube kind of breaks even for Google. It's not a moneymaker for them, but it is something that drives people to watch, and honestly, it's the next big thing. It's already the biggest thing. But advertisers, very slow to respond, very archaic in their way of thinking. And even companies like NBC have said, hey, we're going to stop advertising so much. We're spending way too many advertising dollars. And everyone said, CBS, all the major networks have said, we're spending way too many advertising dollars on our TV. More of that money should go online. And yet, from 2017 to 18, advertising went up as viewership went down. So I can understand if you spend more for sports because that's the only thing people need to watch live in order to, be up to date. Everything else is already available and you could just stream it, binge watch it, whatever it is. So the fact that they're spending more money when they should be spending less just shows how out of touch and how archaic their thinking is. But YouTube is the next thing. And 10% is an astounding number. As I mentioned before, 10% of the time taken up on screens is used with Netflix. That's crazy. But one of the reasons it's crazy is because just a few years ago, no one had Netflix because they need to wait for the streaming to come. So the fact that Netflix exists now and is this big just shows the massive switch. And we see it in the numbers. All the time we're hearing about how people are cutting the cord for cable, saving so much money by just switching. You can get Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. You can still get your HBO in there. You can get all of that for like a third of the price of cable and still have everything you want and probably more content than you could ever watch. So to me, this just isn't surprising at all. And Reed Hastings, by letting investors know, hey, YouTube and Fortnite, that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about companies maybe taking back shows like The Office or Friends and stuff like that, creating their own streaming service. He's not worried about that. Because at the same time, he also knows if everyone has their own streaming service, people are going to end up gravitating to the one that has the most, which as of right now is Netflix, followed by, Hulu and Amazon Prime. Everything else, Disney Plus, great, you get a lot of Disney, but that's pretty limited. And he's already thinking beyond that. He's thinking, okay, yeah, that's all great and everything, but it's about eyeballs. And what are eyeballs looking at? They're looking at YouTube. That's where the biggest audience is. They're looking at games like Fortnite and many other, just gaming. How do we draw eyes away from that? That's what he's worried about. So let me know your thoughts about all this. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about Netflix and what they're trying to do. Is their enemy really Fortnite and YouTube? Or do you think it's these other streaming services coming up? Do you think they're positioned well for the future? Or do you see them just losing eyeballs and their stock going down because of it? Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Twitter, and we'll catch you next time.